Hello, pre-intro chat. So today's guest is someone who does something quite similar to me. Works in adverts, is a singer, and has a catchphrase. Not knocking on your door, but go compare. Yeah, Wynne Evans is going to be my guest. Can't wait to chat to him. So let's go on with the podcast. Hello, everyone. Yes, it is that time. I'm Daniel Johnson, and this is Best Thing. Yes, this is Best Thing, where we talk to guests about the best things in their life. Can I say best thing anymore? Yeah, from food to travel to music to TV and film and something random. And that new subject, you got to say something nice about you. All wrapped together with everyone else. We've got Adam Harris and his Fat Chicken, Bethia Beach bringing us the best in brand new music, and the boys at Film Bag talking us all through those films. Now, today's guest is the wonderful Wynne Evans. You may know him from the Go Compare adverts. He's got some amazing stories and literally got me laughing out loud. Really nice, down-to-earth guy with loads to say. So, buckle up and enjoy. Next up, Adam Harris's Fat Chicken, and then interview with Wynne Evans, where we talk about the wonderful Lucy Jones first.
Hey, Fat Chicken, cluck cluck. Today I want to find out for you what the first toy to be advertised on television was. So I don't know when that's going back to, but I'm going to find out for you, and I'm going to come back to you at the end of the podcast. I'm going to give you the answer. Okay, that's how this works. Cluck cluck.
If you're looking for something completely different for a friend's birthday, anniversary, or you just want to wish them good luck in their new job, but I can't do a video, that would be rubbish, who could I get? Well, you could get loads of people at Memo. Get a personal video message from your favourite celebrity. But who? Well, let me tell you. What about Charlotte Crosby from Geordie Shore? Or Sandra, or Sandy from Gogglebox? Gabby Allen, Amy Childs, and if they like sport, you can get Matt Letitia, Glenn Hoddle, John Barnes, Paul Ince, and Razor Ruddock. You can even get Carol Baskin. Who's that? She's on Tiger King, of course. Oh, yes. All you have to do is write a message, and you get your video within 7 days. A perfect gift, and the best thing you could do for a friend today. It's that easy. Just go to memo.me. That's memo.me. Why not get a fun celebrity message today? Lucy Jones is a babe, I have to say. She is an absolute doll, and she's done so well. Like her progression of her career from sort of, doing stuff before she did X Factor, then West End, then Eurovision, and you're like, I'm just going to clap you, Lucy.
She's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I don't know if you know how this works, Wynne, but what we do, because everything seems so scary in the media and even on podcasts right now, but I wanted to do something that was just a bit more uplifting, a bit like nice and friendly, and just getting to know you a little bit. And obviously, most people know your face a little bit even more now, because actually we get to see you on the adverts.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
good.
That's so good. I was thinking, and it's a question I wanted to do. Not like I ever really probably ask questions on this, but like, how do you do that? Because you're playing a character, and you're like, do you know what? We're going to do both. Did you have a say?
Yeah, I'm on. We have a kind of creative committee thing once a fortnight.
Wow.
So, yeah. And it's just 4 of us on it. Me, the chairman of the board, and 2 creatives who are husband and wife, married couple. They're fab. They're like, I think they're like 75.
Wow.
Yeah, but they wrote all those amazing advertising campaigns, probably way before you were born. But things like the little red phone for Direct Line, the Mash Get Smash Aliens, Sheila's Wheels. Remember Sheila's Wheels?
Of course.
They devised the whole campaign for Sheila's Wheels, so it's been amazing, really amazing.
Wow. I mean, I do have to give you a clap, because not only are you superly talented, but you're known in 2 different ways. And I thought beforehand, obviously you're playing a character, and obviously people knew you before because you had a really, really an amazing singing career. But obviously people knew your character. And now definitely people know who you are and the character, because you're playing both. It's mind blowing, and I love it. That's what I'm going to say. Because
I'm glad you like it.
we do similar things because I feel like I'm a glorified Keith Chegwin, may he rest in peace. And I love it because I get to knock on people's doors. Well, I used to, obviously not at the moment, but it's kind of nice doing that sort of adverty kind of
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Because I worry that people people do. You must get this, but people just shout at me in the street.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that all the time. You know, people, or the worst thing is that they don't shout it at you. They wait for you to pass and then they do the triple take and then they sing it to their friend. And then, or the worst thing is, right? This is the worst thing, okay? Is that you get a parent who recognizes you, right? And they go to the kid, you know who this is, don't you, right? And the kid goes, no. And so there's that really embarrassing moment when the parent goes against me, goes, tell him. I'm thinking, why am I telling your kid who I am? I know full well who I am. Why don't you tell a kid who I am? And then we'd be absolutely fine. Honestly, I've had it sung at me in toilets, which is like weird because then you think, well, what are they? Why looking at me having a wee has made them sing the words "Go Compare"? Do you know what I mean? It's like there's a time and a place for everything, and that is neither the time nor the place.
But it makes a great story. Just makes a great story, though. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, it's that, right? It's that because people love to hate the advert, right? Yeah. So it is that thing where people go, you'll never guess what I did to the Go Compare man. What? I sang at him while he was having a wee at the toilet, and he just smiled at me because I've got this default smile I do. I either, right, go, I either do a Ricky Gervais and I go, oh, well done. Do you think of that all by yourself? Or I go, like it's the first time I've ever heard it.
I need to stop laughing on Mike. It's already annoying myself. Oh, okay. Stop being so funny, man. Thanks. Okay, we'll bring it back. We'll move away from that. We may come back to that, but
we have to come back to it because it's like what made me famous, and I'm not one of those guys that goes, no. I interviewed Kiki D once, right? You know Kiki D? Don't go breaking my heart.
Breaking my heart.
And she goes, oh, I don't want to talk about it. I was like, there is literally then nothing left to talk about, Kiki. And I interviewed Liza, who was it? Judy Garland's daughter, whatever her name was. Not Liza Minnelli, the one, Lorna Luft. Lorna Luft. Yeah, who doesn't want to talk about her mother. It's like, well, there we go then. Interview over. So, yeah, I'm happy to talk about it.
That's cool. I've got some vague categories that kind of tries to keep us on topic, but they're kind of really vague, so it's fine. Cool. We're going to talk about food first. So are you like a breakfast man? Do you? Because I find it really difficult. Right, stop, Wynne. Because everyone has a different kind of relationship with food and stuff like that, and are you a good cook?
Yeah, I mean, look at me. I mean, I'm a big old fatty, right?
Yeah,
there is no beating around the bush, right? That most people eat to live and I live to eat. It is absolutely true, okay? That you know, when people say, oh, I forgot to have dinner last night, I think, how on earth did you forget to have dinner?
Yeah,
it's like my whole day is planned, breakfast to lunch, lunch to dinner. Do you know what I mean? I love cooking. My son lives with me and he loves cooking. And yeah, it's just something that we really enjoy doing. And yeah, it's fantastic. I find it really relaxing. And everybody goes, oh, you should go on a chef's course and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I don't know how you feel, Darren, right? But it's like, once you go on a course, it's like being a singer, right? Once you actually learn to sing, it becomes a bit crap.
Well, it's a job.
Yeah, because it becomes a job and you can never enjoy it ever again. Right?
And you can't enjoy anyone else doing it ever again.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Oh, do you go to the opera a lot? No. Never. I don't want to be put through that. I go to the cinema, right, where I know nothing can go wrong because it's on a film. Do you know what I mean?
I'm the same. I'm exactly the same.
So yeah, food. Great question. Food. Can I tell you my last? If I knew somehow that I was going to die tomorrow.
Just say a desert island. There could be a desert island kind of food.
No, because I've got to eat it every day then, and I've got to bring that.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay, right. Let's morbidly say, okay, let's just say, by the way, if you die, what is going to be your last meal?
Me and you on death row, right?
Yes.
Okay. I said this to my mate. Me and you on death row. What are you going to order? Do you know what he said to me? This is true, right? I promise. He goes, I'd probably have what the bloke in front of me had because that always looks really good. I'm like, it's your last meal.
That's good. Also lazy.
Yeah, really lazy. So I would have scallops to start.
Oh yes, nice.
Right. Steak, standard steak. Mm-hmm. Don't mess around with it. Steak, chips, peppercorn sauce.
Yeah, I was going to say, what sauce are you going for?
Peppercorn. You?
Yep. See, yeah, I would probably just have what you're having because I'm lazy.
I've never met anybody that has blue cheese sauce. Have you?
No, and that's horrible. No offense to anyone that does that, but no, get to the back of the queue.
Yeah, and then I'd have a crumble.
Oh, what would you have? What would be the fruit?
If I had a choice, rhubarb.
Oh yeah, classic.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I don't know if they do that on death row.
They'll do anything. You get them in. I think you actually are allowed anything, and then they can prepare it. They will get them in to do it. Yeah.
Thanks for finding out.
Just in case. You said both of us were going to be on death row. You dragged me into this. No matter what this podcast might lead us to do, we're both dying for it. I just... I'm a little bit worried. Can you cook any of the things? Can you cook a crumble? Can you do that? Do you have an old recipe that you use from an old dusty book on the shelf?
No, I mean I'm not a holder on to things really. You? I don't know. I've got some clutter, but not much.
Yeah, I'm the same. I always think if I die, it's going to take ages to get through it. So I'll get it out of the way already.
Yeah. Kindest thing my dad did before he passed away, he emptied the loft. I know it sounds weird, but what a kind thing to do for your children.
Because that is going to be not great.
That is the big job, isn't it? Oh God, what's you got in the loft?
And there's spiders, and it's dark, and cobwebs and stuff, and there's stuff that gets all itchy. No, I don't want any of that. Yeah. Well done, Dad.
Yeah, well done. Anyway, yeah. So is that food done?
Yeah, I think it kind of is food. I'm going to say the best thing for you when it comes to food is if you die and you're on death row, you're going to have some scallops. You're going to have some a steak, classic steak with peppercorn and peppercorn sauce, some chips, and a nice crumble that is rhubarb.
Yeah, I think definitely having that. And I don't want celery. I hate celery.
Right. Take back the celery. No, he doesn't want celery. No, he doesn't. Stop. Okay. We're going to be talking travel next. When travel, you been anywhere nice in the last 10 years? I'm just saying that because no one's been anywhere. So do you get a cheeky holiday and the mid-lockdown holiday? Because a lot of my friends went to, where do you go? Come on.
Well, it wasn't through choice, right? But it would have gone there anyway. My nephew decided to get married.
Oh, nice.
Where he lives.
And where is it? Is it Newquay?
It's not Newquay. He lives in Falmouth Harbour.
He lives in Falmouth?
In Antigua.
That's not fair, because I was like, Falmouth is lovely. I love it there. It's great. In Antigua, oh no, I haven't been there. When did you go there?
August. It was like everything came into place. Lockdown finished in Wales because I've got loads of mates I haven't seen for ages because English lockdown has been so different to Welsh lockdown.
Yes.
The dates have never kind of really matched up, but the stars came into line for a week. It was 10 days. We were there. We went out. We had a COVID test before we went. We went out. It was amazing there because, I mean, you think of Antigua and you think the Caribbean, probably a bit laid back and blah, 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 blah. Not at all. They're right on it. You know, nobody's going anywhere with COVID in the Caribbean. And then we came back and then I went back into lockdown. So yeah, I got a cheeky one in there, but nowhere else.
Not even like did you do any staycations? Have you had a chance to do any of those? Because where did we go? I think I went to Devon for my nephew's birthday, and we caught the steam train.
Nice, that is nice. Can I sound like an arse briefly?
Yeah, please do.
So I'm from West Wales, from the west of Wales, okay, Carmarthen.
Right.
And when my dad died, we bought a tiny little house on the beach in Llansteffan, which is just outside Carmarthen. So we go, my son and I, we go there quite a lot if we can, but we haven't been able to go there at the moment. It's been terrible. I mean, boring.
Yeah, that's the tough one, isn't it? Especially, because you want to do what is right, and but also staring at your four walls a lot is a bit like. I mean, today my highlight today, I got an Amazon. Why didn't I put stocks and shares in Amazon like 10 years
I
ago?
know.
Right? It would have been crazy. But I ordered a long feather duster because I've got like high ceilings,
Nice.
right?
Nice.
And I got rid of the cobwebs today. Tell you what, those cobwebs have been there. I don't know, must be about 8 years.
How about this
Today,
theory, right?
they're gone.
If you send the Amazon drivers round in the Asda and the Tesco's vans with the vaccine, and then I reckon they could do the whole of Britain in 5 days.
We'll be done. We'll be done. That'd be amazing, and then we'd also get our carrots and apples as well.
Yeah, me and the delivery driver, right? So I've got this show on the BBC here in Wales. Okay, so the delivery driver listens to the show. Okay, so because I was ordering so much at the start, just because of the boredom, right? So like, I'll get picture hanging hooks. I'll get such and such, and I'll get this, and I'll do that, and I'll do this. Anyway, so he goes, I've had an idea for a section for your show, right? And I go, all right, what's that then, mate? He goes, guess what's in the box?
Ooh.
I said, what?
That could be rude, though.
Yeah, he goes, guess what's in the box? I said, well, what box? Well, what you're ordering off the internet, right? So he has taken my box, opened it, right? And he's now holding it behind his back, right? So I go like this. I don't know. I can't remember what I've ordered. Is it placemats? No, it's not placemats. Is it? I'm going like this. Is it a book? Is it a book or a game? No, it's not a book or a game. I say I give up. What is it? And then he pulls out this card of Scampi Fries and he goes, bar snacks. Honestly, he goes, bar snacks. I go, oh, thanks. And he hands them over. I'm thinking, why am I saying thanks? He's opening my mail.
Not only is he opening, imagine you were getting something delicate. Imagine you were getting something that was secretive. Imagine there was like, the crab cream or whatever your neighbor might be getting, and you just open it. That would be terrible. Is there anywhere in the world that you have wanted to go, but you haven't had the chance?
Never been. Never been to Australia or New Zealand, and I've never been to India. Those are the two places where I would love to go next.
Yeah.
If I could.
What is it about India? Because I really, really want to go, and I just want to experience. And my auntie's been, some of my family members and friends have been, and they're just like, it's just amazing. But I said, oh, do you want to go back? They're like, and I was like, India's so big. There's so many places to go. Like, what draws you to have that on your list to where to go?
I think it's the culture. We went to Vietnam a few years ago, and we just went around a bit there. It's about 3-4 years ago now, and I just loved the whole culture, the hustle, the bustle, the ease of life, the simplicity of the life, and it's the same in. I suppose my brother's a lawyer in the Turks and Caicos Islands in the Caribbean, so I go out to see him a bit, and it's just the level of life. People are driving around in rubbish cars, and nobody really cares. And I think that is the thing out there. It's a break from this whole, hamster wheel that we're all on here, that we just keep going. Can we do this? Can we do that? How much money can we make? All of that kind of stuff. So I think just a simpler way of life, really.
What would you say would be the best thing when it comes to travel for you? And it can be like a destination, it could be just a feeling, it could be just getting away. Someone said first class when someone else is paying, which I thought that's quite nice.
Yeah, that is always nice, actually. And we went to Hong Kong a few years ago, my son and I, and we treated ourselves to business, So we walked in there, but we thought it would be funny to pretend we've been upgraded. Okay, and be that family that is a nightmare, right? Wow. So we went on, and I went, Nigel, and he goes, what, Dad? I said, we've been upgraded, Nigel. We've been upgraded, and you could see people in there going, who the upgraded these tossers, right? So we were like, Nigel, look at this bus. Nigel, look what it does. Nigel, look what it does. But yeah, I mean, that is the ultimate, isn't it? First class travel. I love first class or business class travel. Although once, right? This is just once that happened to me. Do you remember the ash cloud?
Yes, I do. Yeah, when everyone couldn't go anywhere or got stuck.
Yeah. So I was in South Africa, right, filming. So I got stuck out there for 2 weeks. Couldn't get back. Right.
You could have drove. I'm joking.
Yeah, no, you could have. I thought about it. Don't worry. Anyway, after the Sun had published the headline, the Go Compare man is stuck in South Africa. Every ash cloud has a silver lining, right?
I mean, clever.
Very clever. I got on a KLM flight, right, to Amsterdam. Because it was 2 weeks after my original flight was meant to leave. So I thought, well, better that I get to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
I can work it out from there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd worked out Amsterdam, and then somebody found me a flight from Amsterdam to Heathrow, but there was like a 10-hour wait. It was fine. So I got on the plane, and the plane's wheels were literally taking off the runway, right? Literally, the front wheel had just come off. And the guy behind me, right? And bearing in mind now, I'm in business as well, right? So there's only about 8 seats there, right, up the front. So the guy behind me stands up, right? Imagine this, the beginning of a 13-hour flight. He stands up as it's taxiing down, as it's, going down the runway to take off, and he spews on my head. Right?
I did not. I thought he was going to sing at you or start a conversation about like rigor mortis. Not be sick on your head.
He was sick on my head, right? And I was like, oh my God. So I get up now and I'm going at this guy, right? And the woman is going to me, can you sit down, sir? The captain hasn't turned the fasten seatbelt signs off yet, right? So I go, this bloke's just spewed on me, right? This bloke's just thrown up all over me. And she goes, well, don't worry, we'll sort it out now. So I'm sat there, right, in like a shirt and trousers. I had a glass of champagne where there was like bits of him in it, and it's all of my shirt, right? So she goes against me. She goes, don't worry, she said, we keep tracksuits on board for such an eventuality. So I said, thank you very much. I'm not lying, right? She came. It was a small. I'm 20 stone, right? It was a small. I could basically get it up to my groin, just, right? But it only came just below my man boobs. There was a massive void, right? Between my entire stomach was. I spent 13 hours dressed like this on the plane, right?
I want picture evidence.
And I had a 10-hour stopover in Amsterdam. Honest to God. Honestly, it was the worst journey I've ever had.
I know what I'm going to use for the clip to sell this show. Thank you very much. I'm going to say the best thing about travel is not being thrown up on a plane, but it is kind of nice to be on a plane in a bit of luxury and pajamas the right size for you and a glass of champagne without any bits of sickin, which is probably the best way. Next up, we're going to be talking film and TV. We've watched a lot of film and TV, so we've got a lot to talk about there. We'll be right back with Wynne, finding out what his best things is to do with film and TV. But before we do that, we've got the boys at Film Bag, and they're going to tell us just what to watch. So, over to you.
Hi everyone, Brevin back again talking movies. Today I thought I would talk about another film that I think has been unceremoniously snubbed by the Oscars in what appears to be kind of pedestrian, I don't want to say it, but boring Oscar year. 2019 was a good one, so, But yeah, this week I'm going to be talking about Palm Springs, which for my money was the best film in 2020. I've seen it twice, get me.
Niles!
Don't come in here!
What the?
It's gonna be a beautiful wedding.
Good day so far? Today, tomorrow, it's all the same.
You! What is going on? Hey, get out of the water!
Guess you followed me. It's one of those infinite time loop situations you might have heard about.
That I might have heard about.
Yeah.
And now it's available to watch and stream in that order on Amazon Prime. Yeah, so this is just a lot of fun. It's part of that newish subgenre that's cropped up from Groundhog Day, where people are just trapped in these horrific purgatories day in, day out. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's got Andy Samberg from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, also part of the Lonely Island comedy group collective. You might have seen some of their stuff. But yeah, he plays Niles, who's perennially trapped at a wedding that he's attended. And we're not sure how long he's been there. Could be a few days, could be hundreds of years, but he's become a bit of an expert, and he inadvertently brings Kristen Milioti from How I Met Your Mother into the fold. She plays Sarah, and the two kind of it's a rom-com, so bit of will they, won't they. They're a joy to watch. They also have to contend with cinema's geriatric bad boy J.K. Simmons, who you might know as the villain in Whiplash, and of course J. Jonah Jameson in the Spider-Man films. He's stuck in there under mysterious circumstances, and he's taken to hunting Andy Samberg's character day in, day out as a bit of a sport. So lots going on. The film's just constantly unexpected. Samberg plays Niles with a surprising amount of pathos. There's just a lot to this movie. Got a great soundtrack. There's a really great Kate Bush needle drop towards the end. Consistently funny, really enjoyable. It's kind of like a spiritual sibling to Netflix's Russian Doll. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but I also recommend that one. So yeah, Palm Springs. See it. Seek it out. Watch it. Goodbye.
When film and TV, have you been glued to it like me, or have you tried to be good? And I've been rewatching programs, so I've just finished watching Luther. Have you watched any of Luther with Idris Elba?
Yeah. I've watched bits of it. I haven't watched the whole. I think I've watched like the first. I don't know what. I think I've watched the first series.
Yeah.
How many series are there?
5.
5. I think I've done 1 and 2 or something.
Yeah. There's only 4 episodes in each one, and actually episode 4, series 4, there's only 2 episodes, so it was a bit quicker.
Okay.
But it's been full on. What have you been watching?
Right. Don't laugh.
Okay, I won't.
Below Deck.
I don't know what this is. Come on.
It is on Bravo, right? I think it's Bravo. But I get it through Amazon Prime on Hui or whatever that channel's called, right?
Yeah, I know. Yep.
And it's about super yachts and people that work on them, and then the people that go on them and how much tip they leave, right? So I have done, in quite a short space of time, 8 series of Below Deck with 15 or 16 one-hour episodes in each series.
You could have watched Game of Thrones.
I've done 5 series of Below Deck Mediterranean special. And I've done 1 series of Below Deck yachting.
Why has this caught your imagination? Why can you not turn it off? This is an hour show and that many episodes and that different locations.
I don't know.
What is it?
I don't know. It's the drama on the board, right?
Right.
And then I looked it up. Why is it so addictive, right? So it's the drama on the board, and then it's like the upstairs downstairs thing, and then how mental the people upstairs are and how much tip they leave. It's just, I don't know, it's totally addictive. I cannot stop watching it. Well, I have to now because I've finished them all.
You can rewatch them.
I think there's a new one out tonight. I'm not very good at rewatching TV. I'm not very good at talk. No, I can't do that. I don't like it. And I generally, don't like it when my advert comes on either, which is like nearly every ad break.
Do your mates phone you or text you? Like, oh, just seen you on TV. You're like,
yeah. Yeah, and I go like this. Yeah, I've been on 6,000 times a month for the last 12 years. So welcome to the party. So it's a bit like that. So
do you watch the football in the pub or anything when we can watch football in the pub, and then the advert comes on and everyone just goes and just slowly stares at you? And
yeah,
that's happened I was actually in a sexual health clinic once and it came on.
That's not true.
No, and everyone stared. And I had to ask them to change it to BBC so there wasn't adverts, because it was a roll. It was a rolling advert of postcolossery.
You're joking.
Yep. Everyone was just like, I wish I was wearing a mask. Would have been fine. But no, I was just there.
I didn't. You're talking right about your ad there. My mate, well, he's like a bit of a legend down here. His name's Max Boyce, right? He used to sing before the rugby and stuff. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he was out. He was in the middle of lockdown. He went out to pick up his daughter. Not in the middle of lockdown. One of the breaks.
Yeah.
Went to pick up his granddaughter's cake. Right. And for
Okay.
some reason, he went to the door and he said, "Oh, here's Phyllis here." And she goes, "No, 3 doors down." So here's Phyllis here. Yeah, next door. So here's Phyllis here. And she goes, Stanley. So Max is standing there in the door and he goes, "What? It's postcode lottery." Right. And he goes, No, I'm just here to pick up a cake. And she's going, "Oh my God, it's postcode lottery. I can't believe it. We've won the postcode lottery." And he's going, No, I'm literally just here to pick up a cake. Do you get that? You know, if you call on somebody, like say you buy something on Gumtree, you rock up, do they go, "Oh my God"?
The delivery driver today dropped off something, and I've got like a little drop box so you can put it in a box, but I heard him come, so I opened the door and I was like, "Oh, thank you," and he went to drive and then he reversed back and went, "No way," and I was like, and I don't know what they're going to say because it doesn't always correspond to being the thing that I've actually done. So sometimes it can be absolutely. Bridgerton is right now one of the things on TV. There's one mixed race guy, and they're like, "You look like him." I mean, this guy's a bloody model, all right? There's no freaking way I look anything like him. But there you go. It's all fun.
I love that.
Film-wise, are you a film buff? Do you like your films? Do you miss the cinema? Do you go to the cinema?
I love going to the cinema. Absolutely love it. And I really miss going to the cinema. And I think, you know what it's like as a singer, right? You spend a lot of time away from home. Or, you know, if you're touring or something like that. And the cinema is somewhere you go. I know this sounds really dodge, right? But you'd arrive in a city. Say you're doing an opera. You have to be in the city for 1 o'clock, okay? So say I was working Welsh National Opera and we were in Southampton. You'd have to be in Southampton for 1 o'clock. You're not on stage till 7. So cinema in the afternoon, right? Perfect. You could go in, you'd be like the only person in there. You'd be shoving back the popcorn like it's coming out of fashion, and you'd be, you know, swigging your £19 Coke. And I love the cinema. I absolutely love the cinema.
I've missed it so much. I mean, I went and saw the Christopher Nolan film Tenet, and it would just, and then I was waiting for Bond, and obviously that got pushed back, and I don't think that's ever going to come back. I do have a conspiracy theory about what's happening with Bond. I think that they might have in the story that there's a virus, and they just feel like maybe it's not the best time to bring this film out. I just have a feeling that there's something in the storyline of a virus. And they're just like,
I can believe that.
Maybe we won't bring this out. Is there any top 3 films that you think are must-watch films, or is there anything you say you don't go back and rewatch stuff, but is there anything that you kind of go, that is my film? For me, is Alien. I can watch that anytime. Jurassic Park, I can watch that anytime, and Finding Nemo, I can watch that anytime.
Can I tell you? I've got a Jurassic Park story. Can I tell it to you very quickly?
Please do. No, we've got all the time.
Without sounding right like Mickey Rooney, my parents, long story short, ended up running a cinema and a theatre, right? Saving it from demolition and running it voluntarily in Carmarthen.
Wow.
Right? And there's actually a film being made by Sky about this at the moment, okay?
Incredible.
So what happened was they were meant to be showing Jurassic Park there, because when there was no theatre on there, they show films, right? So they're meant to be showing Jurassic Park, and they ran out of copies of the film. And my mother, right, ran the local youth opera and was very, you know, helping kids from underprivileged backgrounds and all of this. And so they rang and they said, "Look, Jurassic Park's a massive success. Because you've only got one screen, you can't have the film. We're going to put it into a multiplex where we can show it on 10 screens at once," right? Because it was a proper film back then. We're talking about 92, something like that, when it came out. So my mother was like, "Oh God, we never have anything in this town, and we're going to have Jurassic Park on the first day of release, blah, blah, blah." So she's furious. So she goes to see The Mayor, right? So The Mayor, you know what The Mayor's like in this country? It's a bit of a joke, isn't it? It's a tiny bit of a joke, okay?
Yeah.
So The Mayor, who is a lovely guy, he was a postman by day, mayor by night, right? So
like Batman.
A little bit like Batman, but a postman. And she said, "This is terrible, Elizabeth. I can't believe they're taking this film off you. What we should do now, right, is we should ring Steven Spielberg and tell him," right? So my mother
Of course.
goes, that's a bloody good idea. Let's ring Steven Spielberg. So
This is pre-Twitter.
pre-internet, pre-bloody everything, right? So she goes, so they somehow get hold of Spielberg's office in LA. And he says, this is the mayor of Carmarthen, yeah? And from Wales. So the mayor in America, though, is a massive thing. You think about the mayors like Arnie or Rudy Giuliani and all that, right? So this quickly becomes that this guy it gets a bit confused. And so they think he's the mayor of Wales, right? So the next thing, Spielberg comes on the phone eventually, right?
What?
And my mother says to him, she says, now listen now, Stephen, the kids here, they've got nothing and we were going to have this film on release and now the film distributors rank have decided that we can't have the film on the day of release and blah, blah. So she says, I'll leave it with me. So he leaves it with her, right? I know this sounds far-fetched, right? But this is true.
But I love this. No, I love this. Keep going.
About 10 minutes later, the film distributors ring and they go like this. They go, Elizabeth? She goes, yeah. Listen, Spielberg's office in America have been on and you can't have the film on the day of the release. She goes, all right, okay, well, we tried. She said, no. Steven Spielberg says the premiere of Jurassic Park is to be in Carmarthen in West Wales, right? So the premiere of Jurassic Park was actually simulcast in Leicester Square with Princess Diana there and in Carmarthen in West Wales exactly at the same time. And I remember the day that it came, all the film cameras were outside, all the news cameras saying, it's £250 a ticket in Leicester Square, but in Carmarthen, it's £2.50 and you get a free popcorn. And that is my Jurassic Park story.
This just gets better and better. I'm going to stop the podcast off this. I don't think we're going to get a better guest. The next person on the list. Oh my God, that's incredible. Wow. Like, what a absolute story. This is better than Sick on the Head. I mean, I'm going to have to sit down. I mean, I've sat down already. Okay, I feel like there's a lot going on in this category. What would you say is the best thing for you when it comes to TV and film? I know it's quite broad, but it kind of just is.
Well, probably my all-time favorite TV series, The Thick of It. Brilliant. Just stunning. And I can watch that over and over again. And my one claim to fame is there. I was watching it again for the other day and I totally forgot. And he goes, now listen, love, it's not over till that fat bastard from the Go Compare advert sings. Right? So I was like, nailed it. Had a mention in The Thick of It. Yes. I'm very, very happy. So that. And then, film-wise, top 3, you're going to be surprised.
Go on.
Top film, Pretty Woman.
Oh, that's great.
Next, Top Gun. Next, Bodyguard. I know. I'm a chick flick kind of a guy.
Nothing wrong with that at all. I like that. But you've also got the thick of it in there as well. Yeah, that's fine. You can like whatever you blooming well like. Who cares, man? That's awesome. So, okay. So TV-wise, the thick of it, Pretty Woman, Top Gun, and Bodyguard are the best things to do with film and TV for Wynne. We're going to be talking music next, and I can't wait to get into this with you. We'll be right back with Wynne to find out what his best thing is to do with music. But before we do that, we've got the wonderful Bethia Beats and her track of the pod. And if you wait till the end, you'll be able to hear the full song. Over to you, Bethia Beats. Now. Go on, Bethia.
Hi everyone, it's Bethia from Bethia's Beats. This week's section is going to be a little bit of self-promo. I've recently released a song called What You Do To Me as a collaboration with my very good friends Mort and Holmes. This is one of the first songs that we ever wrote together and it just feels so nice to be able to put out music with your friends, so very excited for this one to be out in the world. Here's a snippet of it playing in the background. Stick around till the end of the podcast where you can hear the full song and find all of our social media links and also where you can find this song. Thank you so much and I will see you next time.
My heart leads me to you. It's us I can't refuse. No wonder you've been on my mind. You know what you do to me.
When music, do you know anything about music? I feel like there might be a few things in there.
A couple of things, yeah. My love affair with music is slightly odd because I suppose I was slightly odd. So as I said, my parents ran a youth opera company in Carmarthen and then ran a theatre. So I had lots of access to theatre when I was young. And I had lots of access to music. And so my brother and I would do like a junior showtime show in the morning, singing like Agadoo and all of this rubbish. And then classics. And then we do music theatre with the youth opera group. And then one day I had a new music teacher in school and she said, "Oh, have you ever listened to opera?" and blah, blah, blah. And I said, "No." And she said, "Oh, you should listen to some opera." And, and I sound like I'm from a family of theatre people, but I'm not really. My parents fell into it. My mother was a hairdresser. My father was a carpenter. And I just fell in love with it, really, and I just couldn't get enough of it. It was like something new had come into my life. I'd always known about classical music, but I hadn't really known about opera. So I went to the Guildhall School of Music, and I thought the best way for me to see opera, because I was skint as well, is to get a job in the shop of the English National Opera at the Coliseum. So I got a job there in the evenings, and what it meant is I could go into every performance. And so I suppose in the first year, I may have seen 30 or 40 operas, and then just more and more and more and more. And it was interesting, really, because I just felt that it was something I wasn't really prepared for. And so I spent 7 years at music college, 4 years undergrad, 2 years on the opera course, and then a year at the National Opera Studio. So I've always felt of myself as not an academic singer. I'm not an academic at all, really. But I always feel like there's certain music that you can latch into, that you can really sing from the heart. And when I think about music and the people that influenced me, I suppose Mario Lanza would have to be up there, who was a matinee idol back in the 50s. And we had this record at home, which was Mario Lanza at Christmas. And I was just, even when I was young, I was just like fascinated by the style. And it's a bit over the top. And, it is, while you're dying, you can sing like an angel for an hour and a half. But it is, I always go, "Are you going to the opera?" And I go, "Which one is it?" Blah, blah, blah. And I go, "How long is it?" So it's just one of those. But yeah, my love affair with music has always been, I suppose, musical theatre and classical music. And it's funny for me now being a broadcaster where I have to play pop music all day, and I'm kind of getting more and more affair with all of that kind of stuff. So I'd say it's pretty broad, but I like what I like, and I like what I know.
Yeah, because you work for the BBC?
Yeah, I work for the BBC in Wales, so BBC Wales. Yeah. So
That's a big deal, by the way. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's great. It's funny because it's a national radio station here in Wales, and my show is all about communicating with people and listeners. And I like to have a good chat. And I seem to have this thing about me that people overshare with me, and I think it's because I overshare as well. You can ask me anything today, and I would give you an answer because I've got no secrets in so much so. So. I have a great time, and they come on and like they share things like a woman came on the other day and she said, "Hi, Wynne, I'm 82. Oh, are you? Yeah. I lost my husband 5 years ago. Oh gosh, I'm so sad for you, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I've bought a blow-up doll," she said to me, right? I'm thinking, this woman's 82, right? And I said, "Oh, right, okay. And I took it for a curry," she said, right? She'd taken it out to the curry. I mean, what is going on?
Brave. So, brave. She's 82. I think when you get to that age, you just don't care.
Yeah. So the music side of things, though, is great. And I still love, I don't do any operas anymore, but I do a lot of concerts. I miss the camaraderie of being part of a team and creating something, whether you're in a band or whether you're in an opera or whether you're in a musical, you're creating something as a team. And I miss that. And I went into guest in Spamalot a couple of years ago in the West End, and just for a week, just to go in and do it, because they had somebody different every week in the part. And I'd forgotten what it was like to be part of a team and have jokes on stage and all of that kind of stuff, So, yeah.
Also, I did some reading up and stuff like that. Are you a Tottenham fan?
Yes, I am.
Aha! And you sang "Glory, Glory, Tottenham Hotspurs," didn't you sing it at the last game at White Hart Lane?
Yeah, and the first game at the new season at the new stadium.
I know. I have this written down as well. That's incredible. That's got to be like a dream come true. If you're not playing football, to sing at the place that you support must be, because I support Reading and I also do support Arsenal, but we won't speak about that. But to do stuff like that, I've done some stuff at Reading, stuff like that. It just feels incredible. How did that feel?
Well, it was amazing. I mean, I'd been very, very lucky in that I'd sang a lot at the Welsh Rugby Internationals, which was also amazing. But Spurs was a team I'd supported. It was a choice, whereas Wales was not a choice, is it? You got to support them if you're from Wales. So Spurs was a choice. And I remember my mum, when I was a kid, I was desperate for the kit. And we couldn't get the kit in Carmarthen. And so my mum bought a Spurs badge and sewed it onto a T-shirt and all of that. And kids are horrible. So my mates were going, "That's not a Spurs kit," So I was like, "Yeah, yes, it is." And so I remember going to my first game when I went to college in London, and I bought a ticket and I went to my first Spurs game, even though I'd been a lifelong supporter of them. And then my son said to me, "Dad, can we go?" Because he's a Spurs fan as well. He's had no choice, bless him. And my son goes, "Dad, can we go to the last game at White Hart Lane?" So I tried to get tickets, couldn't get tickets anywhere. And I said, "Sorry, mate, I've tried, I've called some contacts and they haven't got tickets. It's really, really hard." And literally half an hour later, this guy rang and he goes, "Oh, hi, Wynne, I'm Tony Stevens from Tottenham Hotspur." I said, "Oh, hello." He said, "Is there any chance you'd come and sing at the last game at White Hart Lane?" And I said, yeah. I'd love to. Yeah. I said, I've only got one condition, that I can bring my son with me. And he said, yeah, no trouble at all. No trouble at all. And it was one of those moments. I'd been through quite a difficult divorce, and we were beginning to bond new again, as being a single dad and all of that. And we went to White Hart Lane, and we went to the rehearsal, and they were just amazing with him. So you got to sit in Pochettino's seat and all of this kind of stuff, and blah, blah, blah. It was just brilliant. And then on the day of, right? Sorry, this is very long-winded and boring.
No, you've got all the time.
On the day of the game, they invited us to a dinner, and this dinner was for 100 people. Okay, and in there was it was so 110 people. There was 50 Spurs legends in there with their plus ones, and then there was this one table of 10 that we were on, right? And on the table of 10 that we were on, it was me and Tal, Chaz and Dave, and their other halves, right? Kenneth Branagh.
Wow.
And his plus one. And it was, do you remember Trigger off Only Fools and Horses?
Of course, yes.
But he used to be the voice of White Hart Lane, but he's passed away. But it was his sons were there, okay? So my son sat next to, in between Kenneth Branagh and Chaz.
Actually.
And anyway, we had the best day ever, right? Because we were watching the match. Tal was sat next to Berbatov. It was just like a dream. I walked out into the middle of the pitch. I sang. I mean, the only thing was all the West Ham and Arsenal fans, right? Because they were expecting Adele, right? They thought, this is going to be Adele. This is going to be fantastic. And then you get the fat bloke from the Go Compare advert in the middle of the pitch, right? It's like a bit of a come down, right? So the West Ham and the Arsenal fans went nuts, right? But I didn't give a shit because I was in the middle of the pitch and they weren't. So I walked into the middle of the pitch, and then it was just brilliant. And I remember him turning to me on the way home and he goes, "I will never forget that as long as I live." I said, "Oh, great." And he goes, "Nice bloke, Ken."
Yeah, just my mate Ken now. We're friends now, friends on Instagram. I'm going to answer the question for you, but I think you said it right at the beginning, but I'm going to say the best thing when it comes to music for you is musical theatre and opera. And a little bit, because now you work on radio, some new music, but only because you have to play it, because you get indoctrinated. When I worked at the BBC, I was just like, I don't even know what, and at the end, I'm like, I love this music. Okay, I can't wait to find out what you're going to say here, because your stories have been incredible. We're going to be finding out what the best thing is to do is something random with Wynne right after this. So, when it comes to something random, what is your topic you're going to choose? What is the best thing of something random for you?
Right. So, I was thinking about this, right? And I don't know if you're familiar with Desert Island Discs.
Of course.
Right. So, well, let me tell you what was in the shortlist. Okay. Ice cream vans, because I wanted to be an ice cream man when I was little, and I might buy an ice cream van at some point.
Do it. I'm telling you, do it. Amazing. Do it in summer though.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, that I'd drive in and we go now, 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 and I'd get out and have the moustache on, and I'd be like, "Hiya, everybody! Ice cream, ice cream, ice cream here, ice cream there." Do you know what I mean?
You would make a killing. You would have to. People would have to do impersonations of you, and it have to just be all over the United Kingdom.
Franchise it out.
100%. Right. So ice cream
vans.
Okay.
That was in the mix, right?
Yeah,
and then what was also in the mix was motorway service stations.
Are you a connoisseur of all of them, or do you have like specific ones that you go to?
Well, I do now, but I think I'm visited about 90% of them, and I love service stations. They are little oases at the side of the road, okay, that are like a village. I mean, there is nobody lives there, so it's like a deserted village of. It's like what's that film? The Truman Show.
Yeah,
it's like the Truman Show, okay, because nobody lives there, but it exists, okay. And I love a service station. Now, when I started singing in 1995, okay, I started my career. I started visiting service stations up and down the country as I went. So, M4 was my usual route when I was going to London from Cardiff, or Cardiff from London. So you've got, as you come along in order, Heston, Reading.
That's where I am.
Right. So Heston, Reading. Then do you count Cheveley? You can, but it's technically on the A34.
Yeah.
So you've got to come off the M4 to get to it. So sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
It's a big one.
Membury.
Yep, nice.
Lee Delamere.
Yep.
Which sounds glamorous, but it's not.
It's not at all. No offense to anyone who lives there.
No offense. Magor service station, right?
Right. Yep.
Then you come into Cardiff West. Then you go to Sand Park. Then you go to Swansea West. And then you've got right at the end of the M4 where it ends, Pont Abram service station near Ammanford, right? In Crosshands. So my favorite, I wrote an article for The Sun once about service stations. Okay. So I've got my top 10 service stations and I've got my bottom service stations.
Oh, do you know what? I wouldn't want to be in the middle. I'd rather, if I was a service station, I'd want to be in the top 10 or the bottom 10. I wouldn't want to be in the middle.
There used to be a time, right, when I would ring a mate up, right? This is true, right? A mate of mine, it was probably mid-90s, I'd ring him up and I said, "Have you been to Watford Gap lately?" And he'd go, "No." He said, "Why?" I said, "They've only got a new display of Ginsters there," right? So they'd have a new Ginster stand and I'd go, so... Anyway, the revelations have been with service stations over the last few years is that the introduction of the drive-through at a service station is incredible.
Yes. A Costa, particularly.
A Costa or a Starbucks.
Yep.
Those are the two, really. And interestingly, right, you've got things like the noodles and the Burger Kings and McDonald's and and all of those, who all charge more if you're at the service station.
Yeah.
What is the one brand that doesn't charge more that you'll find at a service station?
Well, it's definitely not fuel.
No, it's definitely fuel.
What does it charge more?
And you've got one in Reading West.
Oh, I should know. Marks and Spencers.
No, they charge more.
W.H. Smith's.
A Greggs.
Really?
A Greggs is the same price if you're on the motorway or in a town. Now, I used to be able to go like this, right? You'd go, well, if you said to me Reading West, right?
Yeah.
I'd go Burger King,
Okay.
Costa,
Yep.
Marks and Spencers,
Mhm.
W.H. Smith's,
Yep.
Cornish Pasty, and now it's got a Greggs, okay? So I could do that. And then you'd go, what about Membry? You go, Waitrose, Starbucks.
Gosh.
Yeah, so I could do them all, okay?
I love this. Like, have you been on Mastermind? Because that could be your subject.
Would be. I know what you're asking next. Where's my favorite?
Well, yeah, I'm going to ask.
Right, okay. I'm glad you asked that.
I feel like you forced that question upon me, but it's fine. Sorry, Wynne, where's your favourite?
Right. I'm glad you asked that.
There you go.
I like Gloucester. It's on the M5. It is what we would call the new age of service stations, okay? So we've always had these little oases across, but now this is a farm shop in a service station.
I
Right?
know it. It's amazing.
Now, if you don't live near there, don't worry, because they've got a sister station, right? On the border to Scotland at T-Bay.
Right.
Now, that is a cracker. They've got fresh produce there. They can do Scotch eggs. They can do pork pies there, I've seen. You can even buy things like couscous there. I mean, really strange stuff.
Wow. You've pushed me over the edge with the couscous.
Yeah, I know.
Can't believe that.
Quinoa.
What an amazing answer. This is what I like. We've had like Greek mythology and motorbikes and color and all different kind of things that people said. But yours, I'm going to say the best thing when it comes to something random is service stations. And T-Bay near Scotland or just in Scotland and Gloucester are the best ones of the farm shop ones. But yes, that's amazing. On series 2, we've kind of and series 3, we've added an extra question. It's just a very short one, and I think one of the things that we find very hard is being nice about ourselves. So the question is, and I'll give you a few seconds to think about it. What is the best thing about you? You'll find out after this. What is the best thing when it comes to you?
My endless charity work.
Oh, there you go.
I'm joking. God,
you were so sincere.
Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
You were so sincere because I was just like, I didn't know what to really say. I was just like, okay, that's cool. I thought it was serious. I didn't know. People are like, I'm a really good friend, and like I'm good at listening and stuff like that. But I thought you were just being sincere. You probably do loads of charity work, but I other people can say that about you, but maybe you can't say that about yourself. Maybe.
I was going to say, do you remember Desert Island Disc? I was going to say, and Elizabeth Schwarzkopf, the opera singer, went on there, right? And they were like, and what disc would you like to play first? And she goes, this is me singing this. This is me singing that. She picked 5 of her own songs to go on there, right? So, yeah. Anyway, what is good about me is my ability to I think it's my ability to take the piss out of myself. I've never taken myself too seriously, right? And when the Go Compare adverts first started, people hated it on Twitter, right? And I think it was very much to my benefit that I never took myself too seriously. And I think that's played into my advantage.
It definitely has. And I think, that whole, because it's been going on for so long, and you see these adverts come and go. I think there was one by Nationwide, and it was the two sisters, and they were like the most hated adverts of. And I thought they just took pressure off myself, just not to be this. Someone's knocking on you, just shut up. And now there's loads of memes, and if you go, and there must be loads of you on like TikTok and people doing their impressions and stuff like that. But it is now kind of part of our history, and I think that you have. I don't know, just you are this kind of our time, what is now. And then people look back and they go, well, what do you remember about, TV and adverts and stuff? Because people watch TV hugely different now. I watch a lot more on YouTube and I watch Netflix and there's no adverts on there. But I feel like when it comes to the adverts and stuff, you are the top. And when I saw you on TikTok and spoke to your lovely manager agent, Lindsay, and got a chance to talk to you, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to find out who you were. And I know you must do this because you do your radio stuff. People know who you are. But you are so self-deprecating. You're so funny. Your story's incredibly, sick on the head, like service stations, Jurassic Park and Carmarthen. Like, these incredible things to sort of I get to listen to and other people get to listen to as well. I just want to say thank you so much for doing this when you're an absolute star. What's going on now? Obviously, things are not back to normal yet, but what's the next plan? What's happening next with you?
I can't wait I can't wait to get back on stage. Can't wait to get back singing. We've got an opportunity, and shall I give you an exclusive?
Please.
So at Christmas, we were doing that TikTok thing where you could be in an advert on the television. Well, we're doing it again for Valentine's Day. So there is an opportunity.
I'm going to take part.
Okay, great. There's an opportunity to sing. So sing with that. So head over to Gio Compario's TikTok, what's it called? Channel, station, whatever. And you can sing with me on the TV on Valentine's Day, and you can make it to the special person you love probably and say, I didn't get you any roses because I'm too tight, but look at me in a Go Compare advert.
And if they're shy, they can just watch it on TikTok themselves. They don't have to do it themselves. If you feel shy, give it to another friend. It's fine. That's incredible. I love all the work you're doing. Keep on singing, being on stage when you get a chance to do it, because I'll definitely come down and see you, even though you're a Tottenham fan. I'm joking. It's fine. I don't want to go into it too much, but the football has been very interesting. Do you watch the football with the sound or with the fake sound?
We're with the fake sound, but I've lost a bit of interest since I can't go, or it just feels a bit empty.
Yeah, it feels like you're just watching sort of them just doing it in training.
Yeah, it is a bit like that. But we'll all get back into the swing of things soon.
It'll be fine. And Tottenham going to win the league?
Not this year.
Okay, next year?
Maybe next year, yeah. You never know. Here's the special one.
The special one. Yeah, I mean, relatively, he's quite good. Anyway, thank you so much, Wynne. You're an absolute star.
You're welcome.
Time for the thank yous. Thank you so much to Wynne Evans. Oh my God, it's such a delight. So funny. Those stories are going to stay with me forever. It's being sick on the head. Ugh. Anyway, yes, also thank you so much to everyone else who makes this podcast what it is. So thank you to Adam Harris with his fact checking. Find out his answer right at the end of this. Thank you to Bethia Beats and her track of the pod we played just after fact checking answer. Thank you to the boys at Film Bag, Tom and Revan, making sure we're all up to date with those films that we definitely missed out on. The music in the background is by Jimmy Lundy, Tom Baxter and myself, and the artwork is done by JMD. Like I said, Adam Harris's fact checking is up next. Lovely answers, so what is he going to say about me this time? And Bethia Beats track of the pod, so listen all the way to the end. Until next time, stay safe and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Fat Chicken, I was finding out for you what the first toy to be advertised on television was. Let me take you back to the US, April 1952. Manufacturers Hasbro. The first toy advertised on television was Mr. Potato Head. All right. Yeah, he was the first toy, Mr. Potato Head, back in 1952. Another one of those for you in the next episode.
know what you do to me. Will you be mine? You know what you do to me. Take up all my time. You know what you do to me. Will you be mine? You know what you do to me. Take up all my time.
So if you ask me what I'm thinking now, I would think about your mind and girl, I'm tripping out. I would think about before and now it's different now. Things are different, why I need your loving now. And I keep loving till there's nothing left. Girl, we'll never have no wishes and no problems. Yeah, I'll just keep planting seeds until we're flourishing. Yeah, till we're flourishing. I'm laying out the base of our foundations. Give you all my time and dedication. Pray to God you never keep me waiting. Pray to God I never get impatient. Wow, my thoughts have never been this loud. I ain't been this way in a while. This feeling is driving me wild.
You know what you do to me.
Will you be mine?
You know what you do to me.
All my time.
You know what you do to me.
Will you be mine?
You know what you do to me.
All my time.
You know what you do to me. You know what you do to me. You know what you do to me.
All my time.
You know what you do to me.
Will you be mine?
You know what you do to me.
Take up all my time.
As much as I think of you, I know you think about me too. And as much as I know that it's true, we got nothing else to lose. You know what you do to me.